The following is a presentation of the United Wrestling Network.
And welcome to Championship Wrestling presented by Pro Shingle, the fastest hour in pro wrestling. I am Dustin Starr alongside my lovely Maria.
Thank you for joining us. The action has been nonstop as of late, and that trend continues today. We have a lot going on this week.
Man, today we have more fallout and backlash from our blockbuster spectacular. We're going to hear from Jordan Clearwater for the first time since the arrival of Jack Banney.
Arrival and brutal attack, that is.
Yeah.
I'm excited to say the women's division is here and in action. It'll be interesting to see how CeCe Chanel and Ruby Rays handle the devastating loss to Heather and Halston, and I can't wait to see the new women's division championship.
Oh, me too. Plus, a very sad gentleman Jervis is here, and the United World Tag Team titles will be defended in our main event.
But first, we'll hear from the man who took out SoCal Distancing in an all-out war. Ray Rosas is standing by.
With the Arizona State Champion, Ray Rosas, and BHK. So the last time we saw you, gentlemen, you were in a very, very intense battle where you were victorious against SoCal Distancing at the 500 Spectacular episode. And now, you know, 2020 hasn't always been the best year for you, Ray, but he's going to do his thing. But what can we look forward to in 2021?
Well, I think like everybody else in the world, we're going to try to put this challenging and difficult year behind us and head into 2021. Now, I felt that I had some sort of form of catharsis when I was able to finally defeat SoCal Distancing, and I'm hoping that I finally exorcised that demon, but it opened my eyes to a lot of sins that I've committed, a lot of wrongs that I've committed in 2020, and looking back on it, seeing how alone that I was when I had to turn to somebody deep in my past, someone from outer space to come help me, it made me realize that I have to start looking inward and making lots of changes here. We're starting with the man in the mirror. So 2021, I'm looking to redeem Ray Rosas.
Kevin Martinson was big-time backup for Ray Rosas, but is now set for singles action.
And introducing his opponent from Gun Barrel City, Texas, weighing in at 230 pounds, the Western Roughneck, Jesse James.
Here we see the opposition for Kevin Martinson, and coming off of a huge victory is the Western Roughneck over former United Television champion Dan Joseph, playing a role in the continued seemingly unraveling Dan Joseph.
Yeah, the Western Roughneck, he is one bad hombre. But then again, so is Kevin Martinson, so this should be a great test for both competitors.
But Blake, I don't see any way how Kevin Martinson can be 100% after that recent war as part of the 500th episode spectacular, that wild brawl in which anything was legal with SoCal Distancing. I mean, the risk that Martinson took in that match.
What an absolutely quick turnaround for the amount of mileage that was put on his body during that matchup. And I'm going to assume that Jesse James is going to try and take advantage of the mileage that he had on him.
Well, and speaking of mileage, I mean, you can still see the tattoos, in essence, of on the chest. There you see it of Jesse James, courtesy of Dan Joseph. What a physical war they had as well. So maybe both competitors here are not coming in a full 100%.
Yeah, both combatants still showing ill effects of their previous matchups, and maybe a little bit of target on Jesse James there with those welts, those battle scars.
So really in the first exchange, we see Jesse James throw Kevin Martinson out of the ring, and now they're over by the ramp. We know that Howdy Price and Levi Shapiro love jumping in important and impacting matches. Let's see if they're going to come walking down the ramp any second now.
Let me make a point. As long as it's not the Primetime Live ramp, because that ramp and Martinson have not exactly seen eye to eye over the weeks. But, Martinson, I totally agree with you. If Howdy Price has struck a deal with Jesse James. But looking back, speaking of Primetime Live, I mean, recently, Kevin Martinson was involved in the United Wrestling Network World Title Tournament. Came in as an alternate and gave Mike Bennett an incredible run for his money. I mean, that was a huge matchup for Martinson.
Competition does not get much bigger than Mike Bennett, and he went in and had a bang-em-out match with Mike Bennett, showing that he is championship caliber around the world. Let's see how Jesse James is able to get in there and work with him.
There you see, though, the residual effects, James. And a simple Irish whip to the corner, and Martinson absolutely crumbled. He is hurting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can overstate. Oh my goodness, as he has just launched chest first into that turnbuckle. Jesse James then avalanching him. The amount of damage that was done to Kevin Martinson.
Half Nelson suplex. Yeah, nicely done. Into the center of the ring. And imagine if Jesse James defeats the likes of Dan Joseph and Kevin Martinson, two of the greats from the United Wrestling Network, consecutively. Boy, oh boy, is this Roughneck's stock going to rise.
Absolutely. That's something that could really catapult him up through the ranks, and he's been competing against two former television champions. Maybe he'll be competing for that television title soon for himself.
Kevin Martinson not going to go quietly, though. He says, you're a daisy if you do, Jesse James. You're going to have to get by me with all of you got. I know that Kevin Martinson endured a lot in that just melee, but he is still bringing the fight.
That's one thing we know Kevin Martinson has a lot of. In that last matchup, that was a bar fight. So we know he's down to get in there and bell off the top. Giant drop kick. Wow.
What a missile drop kick. Tons of height and extension into the cover. And it's not too often, gentlemen, that a single shot will drop the big man, Jesse James. But I'll tell you, the spaceman came from the outer rim there. Incredible.
Jesse James checking his mouth there, it looked like. Kevin Martinson might not lose a tooth or two.
Ref, check my teeth.
He's asking the official to check his tooth. Martinson, though, taking advantage. Smart move by Kevin Martinson, giving no reprieve to Jesse James.
Oh, Jesse James loses a tooth or two. I think just give him a little more character.
Give him some laudanum, rub some dirt on it.
There you go. Maybe a shot of whiskey. Oh, look at this. Innovative offense by Martinson from the inside to the outside, and you're never safe. Martinson can use every inch of that ramp as a launch pad. Here we go. Crossbody plancha.
Such a wide variety of high-risk maneuvers that Martinson continually lands with such high success. It's very impressive.
But sometimes he takes risks that cost him. We'll see here. Inside now, going to pick up full head of steam and runs right into that wicked shot. Southern Sunday punch by the Western Roughneck. This match continues after this.
Join us right now for live chat on youtube.com/championship wrestling.
Memphis Wrestling is back, featuring Alan Steele, Derek King, The Posse, Superstar Bill Dundee, King Cobra, and more. Championship Wrestling from Memphis.
Burger or grilled cheese?
Grilled cheese.
Very good.
I went with crispy tenders and the tots. It's patty. Really fresh. I'm gonna try to chow this thing down before I get to the wrapper. Sonic Wacky Pack.
Choosing Pro Shingle is like picking the perfect tag team partner, right, Dave?
You got that right. It's simple and easy. They'll even file your insurance claim for you.
Give them a call. Tell them Dave and Dustin sent you.
901-258-6503.
This portion of Championship Wrestling is brought to you by Platinum Jewelers.
Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Guys, you know what to do.
Head over to Platinum Jewelers, perfect for Valentine's Day.
What's up, Memphis? This is Jaren Jackson Jr. from the Grizzlies, encouraging you all to shop where I shop. Platinum Jewelers here in Memphis. 545 Perkins Extended in East Memphis. The other is 9387 Poplar next to Fresh Market in Germantown. Go to my spot, Platinum Jewelers.
Last week on Championship Wrestling, we had two big championship matches.
Anthony Idol had this thing won. Howdy Price up on the apron. The object was already in there, and look at that single shot.
Tag team action had Dan Joseph a little unhinged.
This is a new Dan Joseph.
Beside himself,
Whoa.
kicking the
Oh, no. You hate to see him come unraveled. Now he's getting physical with ring announcer Adnan Qureshi. Oh, don't
swing
swing
in the chair. Everything in sight. Dan Joseph has come completely
He's
unhinged.
completely bent that chair. He is totally unraveled here. He almost took a swing on that monitor. That'll cost you some money.
And it was one sad, sad day.
What a close call. Came so close to winning championship gold there. I mean,
I love the
friendship
unity of these
farm.
guys.
no. What the
Oh
hell?
my God.
What the hell, sweet Robin? No, the belly to belly suplex. What are you doing? Oh, and then now Darwin Finch, the scientist. The scientist
got him by the throat.
Oh my God! Look at the intensity on the eyes of Sweet Robin here, guys.
I don't know if he bought what Flex was selling or if Robin Shaw just snapped here, taking it to both. I can't believe that he would buy into that. Oh my God, he looks incensed.
All that and so much more on the fastest hour in pro wrestling. Watch episode 93 in full at youtube.com/championship wrestling.
Welcome back, everybody. Jesse James continues to just absolutely wear down Kevin Martinson, and this is what you want to do against Martinson, keep him grounded.
Absolutely. We've seen Martinson several times with high-flying attacks, either off the top rope or jumping out of the ring. So it's very smart for Jesse James to slow things down by locking up a chin lock.
Yeah, we saw it earlier, James, that big drop kick off the top. I mean, the effect it had. And certainly Martinson in no position for something like that right now.
No, he is not. Jesse James has done a good job of getting Martinson now onto his back, and then a big leg drop into a cover. 1, 2.
Martinson's doing a good job of trying to fight himself back up. He keeps trying to get up and fight, but Jesse James smashes him back down. Goes for a pin that time.
Both these guys, their bodies just a roadmap of pain after what they both endured recently. Jesse James against Dan Joseph, Martinson in that hardcore war. And now look, using his shoulder here like a battering ram. Jesse James, one rough and tough customer.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to tell. I mean, you look in the eyes of Kevin Martinson, hard to tell if it's the damage that's being inflicted by Jesse James or just that Martinson's just kind of an out there guy in terms of what's going through his head there. His eyes just rolling around like saucers.
And again, the damage from that matchup with SoCal Distancing. I mean, the numbers were not in their favor of he and Ray Rosas. We heard from Ray Rosas, you know, dealing with some of the sins of years past and trying to, you know, put 2020 in the rearview mirror and make 2021 a better year.
It's worth noting Martinson took a ton of damage in that matchup, but he never stopped fighting. He was always continuing his offense, and that's a big thing to note, guys. When they get beat down, what do? Do they curl up and quit? Do they look for a way out, or do they fight back?
That was a quicker pace, and Jesse James, though, has really slowed this down to the pace that he wants, launching Kevin Martinson, ripping at that lower back now.
Significantly different strategy employed by both the competitors. Jesse James doing much lower risk maneuvers and chopping down on Martinson. Martinson's going for the higher risk, bigger payoff moves, though.
And it doesn't take much. Here's the difference. I talked about high risk for Martinson, and that is high mileage on your body as well. Rudimentary moves like an Irish whip are effective for Jesse James. They do the job. They get Martinson in a prone position. They put him on his back. Jesse James isn't going to make big mistakes. He's not going to leave himself vulnerable.
Martinson smart, though, scoring with a chop right on that welt of Jesse James. Maybe he'll open up a couple more.
Might as well have a bullseye on it, fellas. Oh, a big shot. Man, oh man, just lighting them up like a Christmas tree is BHK. Reversal again, look at that. Look at the velocity on that Irish whip.
I mean, you said it, TK. They are incredibly effective for Jesse James.
And extremely hard to counter or reverse, and that's what the importance of these low-risk maneuvers are. He's slowly getting ahead. More and more pin attempt.
I think he worked on that Irish whip, just throwing people across the bar top, Wild West style.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned that Martinson was just in a bar fight. Jesse James probably no stranger to one of those himself.
I think the safe money's on that. That's for sure. Martinson, though, wrist control, step up in Zaguri. Nicely done, and the eyes looking very strange there after maybe looking like he had a shot or too many of the fire water.
You can really see Martin's experience there where he was able to find that quick attack. Whoa.
Yeah. Maybe
He's
going for
trying
that
to take the big man up.
Yeah, the back smart, and maybe all the way back to Primetime Live, you know, where he hit that ramp several times. Missed dive, you know, on that ramp at one point when he faced Ray Rosas. Then the two became partners, obviously, here. And taking advantage. Oh, look at the springboard moonsault.
Wow.
High noon moonsault there by Jesse James, and nobody home.
Not too often you see a big man move like that. That was extremely impressive. These Santino guys can do some fantastic stuff inside the ring.
Yeah, nobody home on it, but again, yeah, it was an impressive maneuver. Maybe, I don't know why, but pulling that out might come back to bite him, though.
Oh, man, he's going Super Saiyan now, is Kevin Martinson. Watch out here. Digging way down deep. Again, as you mentioned, Blake, you just can't stop this guy. He keeps moving forward.
We might not have seen Kevin Martinson's final form, but he is doing his best to show it to us right now. What's he going to go for? You mentioned earlier, TK, he's got a love-hate relationship with the outside. Looks like he's going to be going back to it right now. Oh, too smart, though. Landed on his feet.
Oh, called the audible, but you don't want to be here either. Slides through. Spear. Beautifully done there on Jesse James by BHK. He'll hit you from all angles.
Innovation is the word that always comes into my mind when I'm watching Kevin Martinson work. He is just such an incredible innovator in there at calling that audible. Little elevation sensation splash from Kevin Martinson now. Can he make the cover crawling over?
Boy, dropping all the way down from Saurian 2 into the cover. Only a count of 2. How in the world was that not enough? But now it opened the door for the sharpshooter. So
trying to turn him.
Attacking all points of the body here on Jesse James.
Got the beard.
Yes, he does.
That was a very high-level transition there by Kevin Martinson. He went immediately from the pin, kick out, and started turning it over for the sharpshooter and came very close to securing it.
I thought you were going to say grabbing the beard was a high-level transition there by Jesse James, but it did the job. It got him out of harm's way. A gut wrench, and now all the body weight down with the senton into the cover. Count of 2, 3 on the way. No, not yet. And another war here for both these guys.
Yeah, Martinson just able to get the shoulder up. I, honest to God, thought that was going to be all she wrote for Kevin Martinson, but he is still in this matchup, but in a bad, bad way right now.
Kevin Martinson has been able to survive all of Jesse James' attacks thus far, but I wonder if he busts out that lariat. What's going to happen? It looks like he's calling for it.
Well, he might not be the great Bambino, but he is calling his shot. Certainly looks like it. He was looking for that lariat, but now out of position. So whether that was luck, fatigue, instinct, wherewithal, something, Martinson got out of there, ducks it, has just enough for the German suplex the other way. Seesaw battle here at Championship Wrestling.
Jesse James got a little over-eager. He wasn't able to get the lariat because Kevin Martinson went down in the corner, and he went and tried to force it and got countered.
Oh, my God. He might kick that beard right off Martinson's face.
Wow, he's a space case now, that's for sure. Talk about Martinson after eating a shot like that. What's Jesse? Oh, man, again. Digs down deep. Reversal. Had on the magnetic boots. Big hook the leg. Martinson wins.
Here is your winner, Kevin Martinson.
Wow, what another war, guys. Incredible. Martinson digs down deep, defeats the odds and his opponent. Let's look back at the action brought to you by UnitedWrestlingShop.com. Get your branded United Wrestling Network merchandise. How about the big man going for a moonsault there out of nowhere, guys? And then in the end, big guy looked for some variation of a suplex, reversed by Martinson, gets the win.
Yeah, that brainbuster, Martinson likes to pull it out, and it delivered the victory over Jesse James. Great hard-fought win.
That split second of showmanship by Jesse James might have cost him the opportunity to throw his attack, and instead he got brainbustered, and he's going home with an L.
Still more coming your way right here on Championship Wrestling.
Welcome back to the studio. BHK Kevin Martinson showed up real big for Ray Rosas in part 2 of our Blockbuster Spectacular, and today was no different. Big win for BHK.
Up next, maybe we'll get some answers to the saddest story of 2021. I know the year is early, but come on. Sweet Robin slammed Gentleman Jervis last week.
I agree. The Friendship Farm is in action, and we'll also try to get a word with Gentleman Jervis. Don't go away.
Dustin's weekly wardrobe is courtesy of Suits You. They really suit you. This portion of Championship Wrestling is brought to you by Platinum Jewelers.
Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Guys, you know what to do.
Head over to Platinum Jewelers, perfect for Valentine's Day.
What's up, Memphis? This is Jaren Jackson Jr. from the Grizzlies, encouraging you all to shop where I shop. Platinum Jewelers here in Memphis. 545 Perkins Extended in East Memphis. The other is 9387 Poplar next to Fresh Market in Germantown. Go to my spot, Platinum Jewelers.
Need a quick roof repair, maybe 5, 10, 15 shingles?
Pro Shingle's new Speedy Shingle service is just what you need. It's quick, fast, and speedy.
They can help with even the smallest roofing repairs. Call Pro Shingle now, 901-258-6503.
The Championship Wrestling Podcast is all new every Monday at high noon. Hosted by Dustin Starr. We'll recap all the action, look ahead at what's next, answer your questions, plus insights on the latest news. It's the Championship Wrestling Podcast on ChampionshipWrestlingMemphis.com and your favorite podcast providers. Memphis Wrestling is back, featuring Alan Steele, Derek King, The Posse, Superstar Bill Dundee, King Cobra, and more. Championship Wrestling from Memphis.
The following contest is a singles match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first from Stem, North Carolina, weighing in at 243 pounds, Jody Sutton.
Jody Sutton making his way to the ring. I'm not sure that he's really fit to compete, but time will tell. His hobbies include drinking and traditional non-denominational mountain tap dancing, so I'm told.
There's denominational tap dancing?
Yes, there is. Not for him, though. He's non-denominational.
And introducing his opponent, being accompanied to the ring by Gentleman Jervis from the Galapagos Islands, weighing in at 190 pounds, the punk rock Poindexter, Darwin Finch.
Oh, guys, this is just disheartening and sad. I mean, usually when you hear this music, it brings joy to the masses, and Gentleman Jervis he doesn't have the heart for it right now after recent history.
No joy in Mudville, no joy on the Friendship Farm after what we saw happen with not so sweet Robin Shaw.
He's really going through the motions here as Gentleman Jervis. Now, oftentimes, Blake, you analyze what happens after a loss inside the ring. But what about the loss of a friend? And in this case, a big friend.
I think that's a much bigger loss. It's going to have a larger emotional impact on a competitor. It's a good thing Jervis isn't the one who's in the matchup.
It's going to be Darwin Finch, and Jody Sutton is having some issues disrobing.
He's taking his pants off?
Are those tights or tidy whities? Oh, my goodness.
Yep. Ring the bell.
All right. And Jody Sutton, he is a practitioner of redneck kung fu. I guess that's drunken style? Uh-oh. Look out here. Head scissors into an octopus stretch by Darwin Finch. An evolution of his game, you might say.
I wonder if Sutton can hit him with a slam here. Oh, get into the ropes. Very smart. I wasn't sure how he was going to get out of that.
Jody Sutton can't walk in a straight line on a good day, but he managed to find his way to the ropes there. Oh, or three. Hit the one in the middle. And thought it was going to be a leg sweep. We see that often by... Uh-oh.
Oh, another intricate submission by Darwin Finch.
Wow, he's got this well orchestrated, does Darwin Finch. He's been cooking up some stuff in the lab.
What a hybrid attack here. He's got a choke, an arm lock, and a wrist lock on Sutton.
And given the state of obvious inebriation for Jody Sutton, I don't think he'd have to be locked in a submission long to basically just pass out.
No, typically I would have counted out guys that were kind of drunk in there. But I have seen, James Storm over from the NWA on Primetime Live come in absolutely sauced and do a fantastic job.
Excellent point. Jody Sutton thought he was going to score with the hip toss, does come up with a right hand, and just continues to plod along towards Darwin Finch. And you see Jervis on the outside. He's starting to get a little bit of life, cheering on Darwin Finch. And there we see the leg sweep takedown and tying him up yet again. Sound strategy here by Finch.
And this time they're in the middle of the ring. It is going to be very hard for Sutton to get to. Whoa! TK, this might be a silly question, but you're not allowed to do that in professional wrestling.
No, of course not. But I don't think the official saw it. I don't think the official saw it. Now that one was to the lower abdomen, but that initial shot was clearly to the beakers. Yeah. Watch out for the test tube as well. And now look out. Oh God. Just devastating. Oh, and now the Three Stooges like chop as well. Oh, now the wedgie. Boy, I mean, unorthodox offense unless you're an 8th grade bully here. And how could Finch possibly have prepared for this?
I'm just wondering if he's going to try and stuff him in a locker next.
Very different than what we assume we'll see in the main event. Tag team titles, United Tag Team titles on the line. Bodega, 4 minutes of heat. Big rematch, 4 minutes of heat. Took the champs to the limit last time. Oh, now a mandible claw. And who knows where that's been. The CDC is having a field day with this matchup, let me tell you. And now digit control. And Darwin Finch, I tell you, scientist got a lot of fight here, guys. He's not all brains. He's got some brawn and starts to take it to the big mountain man.
This is what it looks like when nerds strike back.
Oh, had him there with the electron orbit and almost caught him.
Gotta start wondering if a big high impact attack like that's not gonna get the finish. What does Darwin Finch have to do to put Sutton away?
Sutton just too big. And now that big swinging slam into the cover and only a count of 2. I'll tell you, it's unusual, it's unpredictable, but it is competitive. You can't argue with that.
You got it. Go on, man, knock him out.
And again, and a big discus shot there into the cover again, north-south position. Oh, a much-needed win.
Here is your winner, Darwin Finch.
Much-needed win for the Friendship Farm, and now we see some of the energy back in Gentleman Jervis. How do you do? We'll see. A main event still coming up.
Welcome back. Jordan Clearwater is still to come, and the United World Tag Team titles are up for grabs in our main event when the Bodega defend against 4 minutes of heat. But before we get there,
it's women's division action, but what could be even more interesting, we're going to hear from Jamie Iovine, Cece Chanel, and Ruby Reyes, and that's next.
Stay with us.
Did you miss our year-end review featuring the best matches and wildest moments of 2020?
How about our Championship Wrestling Award Show where we crown the very best of 2020?
If not, you have a lot of catching up to do. Watch it in full right now at youtube.com/Championship Wrestling.
And be sure to take that subscribe button to Slack City.
Oh yeah.
Recently named the best food truck in Memphis by the Memphis Flyer, New Wing Order is your main event for award-winning wings featuring more than 20 flavors ranging from mild to scorching hot.
Oh yeah, New Wing Order has options for all tastes, and if you're looking to bring that award-winning flavor to your pantry, You can now purchase bottles of their championship Memphis buffalo sauce by visiting newwingorder.com.
Book them for their services or catering at newwingorder.com, and you can find the food truck on social media at New Wing Order.
That's what we do.
I feel like I'm the good kind of spicy. It means you got an edge. I got an edge.
It means you've got some umph, and I got some umph.
I don't know about your umph, but impatience doesn't equal spicy. Sonic Chicken Slinger.
Is it a good umph or a bad umph?
Missing a few shingles and need a quick repair?
That sounds like a job for Speedy Shingle Service. It's quick, fast, and speedy.
They can help with even the smallest roofing problems. Call Pro Shingle now, 901-258-6503.
Last week on Championship Wrestling, we had two big championship matches.
Anthony Idol had this thing won. Howdy Price up on the apron. The object was already in there, and look at that single shot.
Tag team action had Dan Joseph a little unhinged.
This is a new Dan Joseph.
Beside himself, kicking the...
Oh, no. You hate to see him come unraveled. Now he's getting physical with ring announcer Adnan Qureshi. Oh,
don't swing in the chair. Everything in sight. Dan Joseph has come completely unhinged.
He's completely bent that chair. He is totally unraveled here. He almost took a swing on that monitor. That'll cost you some money.
And it was one sad, sad day.
What a close call. Came so close to winning championship gold there. I mean,
I love the friendship farm.
No. What the
Oh,
hell?
my God.
What the hell, sweet Robin? No, the belly-to-belly suplex.
What are you doing?
Oh, and then now Darwin Finch, the scientist. The
Robin's
scientist
got him by the throat.
Oh my God! Look at the intensity on the eyes of Sweet Robin here, guys.
I don't know if he bought what Flex was selling or if Robin Shaw just snapped here, taking it to both. I can't believe that he would buy into that. Oh my God, he looks incensed.
All that and so much more on the fastest hour in pro wrestling. Watch episode 93 in full at youtube.com/championship wrestling.
Clint Armstrong here with Jamie Iovine, Ruby Reyes, and CC Chanel. Now, guys, we saw that Heather and Halston were victorious against you guys, so now there will indeed be a women's champion for the United Wrestling Network. What are the plans for the women's division?
I'm an evolving businessman, a modern businessman. I roll with the punches, Clint. Each day is a new day. But if anybody thinks that Heather Monroe, of all people, is going to be the women's champion, they're out of their minds. If anybody is going to be the future women's champion, it's going to be Ruby Reyes. And Ruby Reyes is going to show everybody in TV land why she's the future champion. Because I am the all-seeing, all-controlling, all-powerful Jamie Iovine. Thank you, Nico. Thank you.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Venice Beach, California, she is the Mac Daddy, Milo Matters.
Switching gears to women's division action, there can be a women's division and title because Heather Monroe Halston Body getting the job done. Part of episode 500 Spectacular, and here we see Milo Matters ready for action.
And introducing her opponent, from San Onofre, California, she is the equal opportunity assassin, Ruby Reyes.
Milo Matters came out all smiles, gentlemen. I think that could change instantly.
Yeah, well, Milo Matters calls herself the Mac Daddy. She's about to run into a Mac truck.
Indeed.
Yeah, if anybody can turn a smile into a frown, it is Ruby Reyes, the equal opportunity ass kicker.
And the equal opportunity assassin at the hands of Nico Marquez, I guess Jamie Iovine as well, his right-hand man. And much to their chagrin, there will indeed, wow, how about that for some blatant disrespect? Sending a message.
If that's the worst she gets, I think she's getting off easy.
Ring the bell.
The only thing these two have in common is they both spent time training in Santino Brothers Academy at one point. Oh, wow, look at this. Going right at her. Oh, boy, that didn't work out too well.
I give her props for just charging it. Sometimes I tell people that's what you got to do with challenges, is just charge it. It didn't pay off that time, but I give her props for trying it.
She almost got decapitated.
Not where you want to be in the corner with Ruby Ray. Oh, just wicked sharp elbow there by Ray's. Drops matters.
Yeah, being stuck in the corner like that's a very dangerous place to be because there's nowhere to go. You're just going to absorb damage, and the strikes Ruby Ray's throws, that's not a sustainable place to be.
Tell you what, guys, if Milo matters, Ray's didn't get the memo.
Yeah, say that again. Just Milo Matters wailing in pain from the shots that Ruby Ray's is dishing out. It's just been indomitable so far in this match.
I think Nico Marquez and Jamie Iovine, now that they have no choice, and there will indeed be United Wrestling Network Women's Champion, I think they have pegged the equal opportunity assassin to be that champion down the line. They want to do anything they can to keep it away from the Killer Bay, Heather Monroe.
Well, it's hard to argue with the results that we're seeing right now. Ruby Ray's just using her foot to keep Milo Matters from getting up to a vertical base, just having her way with her right now.
Boy, nasty axe kick there by Ray's.
Yeah, Ray's has been doing a fantastic job of beating Milo down. Milo's trying her best to fight back, but it just doesn't seem to be affecting the juggernaut that is Ruby Ray's.
Yeah, impervious to pain thus far is Ray's. I mean, those shots having no effect. I mean, you can't argue with the heart of Milo Matters. She's given it everything she's got. It's just not nearly enough.
Yeah, I mean, I give her full credit for stepping up to the plate. It's just right from the bell. You know, she took a big swing and just came up empty-handed against Ruby Ray's.
Man, with the brute force that Ruby Ray's has, I would like to watch her get in there and tie up with some men. Wow, look at that. Was a brutal hold right there, torquing on the neck of Milo.
Using the ring as a weapon, having some fun. I mean, I think this is Ray's just toying with her prey at this point, James Kincaid.
Yeah, playing with her food a little bit, perhaps, is Ruby Ray's. Wanting to send a message, perhaps to Heather Monroe and the entire women's division. And she is getting it done right now, just battering her into the corner.
Stay out of that corner.
Holding on to her now is Ray's going to deposit her on the canvas. Oh, no. This is absolutely not where you want to be. Oh, just spikes Milo Matters, the center of the ring. Nasty, nasty business indeed, and a nasty demeanor by Ray.
Here is your winner, Ruby Ray's.
What a victory there by Ruby Ray's, gentlemen.
Welcome back. Ruby Ray's looks unstoppable in there, and I do not envy Milo, that's for sure.
Me either. It's that time again. The United World Tag Team titles are on the line in our main event. But first, we'll hear from Jordan Clearwater for the first time since losing the Heritage title.
And also for the first time since being blindsided by that maniac Jack Banning.
Yeah, and after this program, head on over to our official YouTube channel and take a look at Jack Banning's new web series entitled Quarantine Jack Banning. Pretty freaky stuff.
Lots of his story is still unclear, but we'll hear what Jordan has to say, and then back to the ring.
Suits you. We really suit you.
Top of the Line Event Hall is a stunning venue in Memphis, perfect for your big day.
This unique venue offers everything you need to create your party, wedding, reception, and more.
Check them out, 3674 Ridgeway Road.
Or 901-396-8684.
The Championship Wrestling Podcast is all new every Monday at high noon. Hosted by Dustin Starr. We'll recap all the action, look ahead at what's next, answer your questions, plus insights on the latest news. It's the Championship Wrestling Podcast on ChampionshipWrestlingMemphis.com and your favorite podcast providers. Championship Wrestling joins forces with Grind City Designs to bring you the all-new Championship Wrestling Shop. All styles, all sizes, featuring the legends of classic Memphis wrestling. Pickup or delivery.
Up Memphis. Protect yourself and others from COVID-19 by wearing a mask.
That's right, just like this.
No, Dustin. No.
I got it, hold on.
Are you trying to get this wrong? The proper way to wear a mask is to cover your nose and your mouth. There you go. Prevent the spread. Mask up, Memphis.
Memphis Wrestling is back, featuring Alan Steele, Derek King, The Posse, Superstar Bill Dundee, King Cobra, and more. Championship Wrestling from Memphis.
All right, wrestling fans, John Roberts here alongside the Golden Boy, Jordan Clearwater. Now, Jordan, 2020 was an eventful year for you. You won the Hollywood Heritage title, but 2021 is looking to be very different, and it's all because of one man, Jack Banning. Everyone wants to know what is going on with Jack Banning and you.
Look, John, I want to know what's going on too, because quite frankly, I have got no idea what Jack Banning's problem is with me. But what I do know is that night, I spent that night in the hospital. And Jack Banning's gonna find out the same thing that happened to Ray, the same thing that I've done to Richie, and that he's gonna spend a night in the hospital and no doctor is gonna be able to undo what I'm gonna do to him.
Well, we know that Jack is very used to hospitals and asylums. We've seen the videos of him locked away. He's in a different mental state. Can we talk about your mental state for a second? What's going on in your head right now with the events that have unfurled in the past few weeks?
Look, okay, Jack spent quarantine locked in an asylum, but so did I. I spent quarantine locked in an asylum with Blake Troop, and I've learned. And I've worked hard to get to where I am today. And regardless of what's going on in Jack's mind, there's only one thing spinning in mine, and that's getting my revenge.
Well, I mean, it's going to be a long road ahead for you if you're going to take down a man who we saw choke you out. There were a lot of people down at ringside trying to pull you guys apart, and he was not letting go.
You know, I thought about that. And all of my training with Blake, it all comes down to one thing. Guillotine or not, I've got a weapon of my own. Left leg, hospital. Right leg, cemetery.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Jack Banning should look out for Jordan Clearwater.
Main event time. The United World Tag Team titles on the line. 4 minutes of heat. Earn another shot. They came razor close to taking down the Bodega and getting the gold last time. Another shot at victory and tag team gold here in our main event. And here come the champs. Is that newfound swagger that you've talked about? Blake with Danny Limelight Rivera, Papo Esco, and you got Slice Boogie in tow as well. Bodega stronger than ever, a real power play.
And like you mentioned, the Bodega's coming off of a win over 4 minutes of heat recently. I gotta wonder what 4 minutes of heat might try and do differently this time so that they can walk away with the W.
I don't know. I don't think they have to change a whole lot because they came close. They came extremely close to defeating the Bodega. But here we go. They're gonna lock it up yet again, and here to set the stage momentarily for this main event tag team title bout, Adnan Qureshi.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the United World Tag Team Championship. Introducing first, the challengers. At a combined weight of 400 pounds, Rock God Ricky Gibson and Freak Nasty Eddie Pearl, 4 minutes of heat.
That's where you going.
And introducing their opponents, being accompanied to the ring by Slice Boogie. At a combined weight of 481 pounds, they are the United World Tag Team Champions, the King Fat Boy, Papo Esco, and Danny Limelight Rivera, the Bodega.
Let's get it. Bodega set for another title defense. Got Slice Boogie out there, and they are not going to waste any time, are the champions. And that may be because 4 minutes of heat gave them a real run for their money last time out.
They did. 4 minutes of heat looking to finish off the job that they started in the encore here. But the Bodega is going to have none of it if they have their way. And now we have to deal with Slice Boogie on the outside as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that comes into play. Eddie Pearl launching himself out of a cannon, though.
Yeah, maybe some protection now for the Bodega by Slice Boogie, as they have offered protection to him. And a winning combination that has been. Freak Nasty showing some freakish strength and offensive ability in the early going. Ricky Gibson off the top. Take the big man down. Boy, they might do it here, Blake. The challenger's looking great in the early going.
Yeah, they've done a good job of going right after Papo Esco early on. They've already damaged Danny Limelight in the first time they competed. But Papo Esco was a little bit more difficult in their first outing.
Boy, these two teams are not wasting any time this time out. Double teaming the big man. They were able to rock him with that back stab at the last time. Double drop kick. Shades of the Rock and Roll Express right there.
So smart adjustment we saw by 4 minutes of heat. They tried to muscle Papo. He held back, and they just switched the game plan. They didn't try and muscle him again. They switched it up, hit him with a plan B, and it worked magically.
Speaking of back stabbeth, look out here. One for Papo. Last time, one for Danny Limelight, and they launch him into the lights. Looking to make history, only a count of two.
You know, in their first time out, their last title defense against 4 minutes of heat, the Bodega started with Papo Esco in the ring, and that seemed to be effective for them because it delayed the ISO game of 4 minutes of heat. And now, maybe a little overconfident, we had Danny Limelight starting things off, and now he is in a bad way in there.
This is what they did in the first matchup, too, though. They tried to isolate Danny Limelight.
Well, there you go. You got to have eyes in the back of your head on a swivel in a matchup like this. Big right hand. Boy, more physical than ever was Eddie Pearl until he ran into the King Fat Boy.
Got to watch your back when you go into the Bodega. Eddie Pearl now on his back. Limelight looking to take control.
It's a very smart sideline play by Papo Esco, grabbing Freak Nasty by the back of his hair and putting him down.
Danny Limelight goes for the cover, looking to reverse their fortunes. Both teams off to a hot start in this thing. In the time since their first encounter, 4 minutes of heat did score a victory over Showtime Jordan Cruz and former television champion Dan Joseph, earning them this rematch.
Another big variable that's changed since the last time these two teams have faced off is Slice Boogie is now accompanying the Bodega out there. Who knows if that's going to be a factor in this matchup?
It's got to rent space. No, it's a factor, all right. Look at this, grabbing the foot, the ankle there. James?
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's that confidence that sort of begets itself with the Bodega. Is that, you know, Danny Limelight knows, oh my goodness, that he has Papo watching his back and dropping that head into the cover now.
All that body weight down. I don't envy Eddie Pearl to have to kick out from that. Now the blatant choke by King Fat Boy. In control of the champions. We'll be back after this.
Join us right now for live chat on youtube.com/championship wrestling.
Memphis Wrestling is back, featuring Alan Steele, Derek King, The Posse, Superstar Bill Dundee, King Cobra, and more. Championship Wrestling from Memphis.
Top of the Line Event Hall is a stunning venue in Memphis, perfect for your big day.
This unique venue offers everything you need to create your party, wedding, reception, and more.
Check them out, 3674 Ridgeway Road.
Or 901-396-8684.
Recently named the best food truck in Memphis by the Memphis Flyer, New Wing Order is your main event for award-winning wings featuring more than 20 flavors, ranging from mild to scorching hot.
Oh yeah, New Wing Order has options for all tastes, and if you're looking to bring that award-winning flavor to your pantry, you can now purchase bottles of their championship Memphis buffalo sauce by visiting newwingorder.com.
Book them for their services or catering at newwingorder.com, and you can find the food truck on social media at New Wing Order.
That's what we do.
Mask Up Memphis. Protect yourself and others from COVID-19 by wearing a mask.
That's right, just like this.
No, Dustin. No.
I got it, hold on.
Are you trying to get this wrong? The proper way to wear a mask is to cover your nose and your mouth. There you go. Prevent the spread. Mask Up Memphis. This portion of Championship Wrestling is brought to you by Platinum Jewelers.
Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Guys, you know what to do.
Head over to Platinum Jewelers, perfect for Valentine's Day.
What's up, Memphis? This is Jaren Jackson Jr. from the Grizzlies, encouraging you all to shop where I shop. Platinum Jewelers here in Memphis. 545 Perkins Extended in East Memphis. The other is 9387 Poplar next to Fresh Market in Germantown. Go to my spot, Platinum Jewelers.
Championship Wrestling is presented by Pro Shingle, a professional roofing company.
Welcome back, everybody. Tag team titles on the line.
I ain't doing nothing.
And look at this. What are you talking about? I ain't doing nothing, says Papo Esco, as he chokes out Eddie Pearl. And now a shot by Slice Boogie. This is gang warfare.
It absolutely is. And, the Bodega, I was saying before the break, it's just this sort of reciprocal confidence that seems to be swirling around all three of these men, is that they know and trust that the other has their back.
I mentioned that 4 Minutes of Heat needed to do something differently if they wanted to come away with the win. And if they made some adjustments, they didn't make any adjustments for Slice. Wow, big attack there with Danny Limelight. Again, wow. Tag team moves coming in for the Bodega.
Excellent tag team action there. Great double teaming as he goes for the cover, that elevated splash. Earlier, the Tope Con Hero on the outside. I mean, the Bodega, as you have talked about in the past, almost in a snap of a fingers went from one of the hottest new teams to the top team here in the United Wrestling Network.
Yeah, it came together very quickly for them, and the success speaks for itself, and I really believe that it's just continuing to feed on it, although now Eddie Pearl looking to change that narrative with Danny Limelight. Oh my
huge
goodness.
drop kick. Man, what a snap, what an echo to that drop kick. And there you see the confidence there by Danny Limelight.
We saw what a great tag team partner can do to change a career. Danny Limelight was on somewhat of a losing streak before coming across Papo Esco. Once they tag teamed up, these guys have been crushing it.
Boy, nasty shot there by Danny Limelight. And it really comes down to the quick tags, the double teaming. And right now that is to the favor of the Bodega.
Oftentimes we see 4 Minutes of Heat employ these very same tactics. The Bodega is doing it better than they are right now, though. And Eddie Pearl is in a very bad spot here. This is not the part of town you want to be in with the Bodega.
There it is. There's that corner store. That's usually part one into the street sweeper, and there it is. Caught the Rock God sleeping on the outside there a little bit. And a count of two.
Man, the tag team champions are showing why they are the champs right now. They have been putting it on 4 Minutes of Heat.
And that's saying something, because we've seen, what a successful team 4 Minutes of Heat are. Recent victory, as I mentioned, over Dan Joseph, Jordan Cruz. A few weeks back over the Friendship Farm to earn their initial title shot. We've seen them on Primetime Live defeat Beef Candy. I mean, this is a top team, but right now they are getting worn out and ragdolled by the Bodega.
And they're a battle-tested team, too, and they're a team that has a really strong bond. I think that's one of the most impressive things about the Bodega is the fact of just how cohesive a unit they've become in a short period of time. Drop toe hold Eddie Pearl. He is still in dire straits. What a stomp from Danny Limelight.
Like you said with their mojo, and Slice Boogie has been fitting into the mix very well thus far.
Yeah, he might have been one of the few missing pieces of the puzzle. It's just something else you got to think about when you face these guys.
Already intimidating enough. You have to deal with Papo Esco.
This has got to be a really mentally tough matchup for the 4 Minutes of Heat, because they did so well in the first time that they faced the Bodega, and this has not even been a close matchup thus far.
No, really dictating the pace has been the Bodega, and it doesn't look like that's going to change. Big Puerto Rican suplex. And now taking out the Rock God. Boy, the Rock God's getting a lot of action out there in the corner. Just eating shots.
Yeah.
And even if Eddie Pearl can get there and make the tag, guys, they're known for fast-paced 4 minutes. They're known for double teaming. Eddie Pearl's not going to have anything left for that.
He's not going to have anything left for that. And you got to think about it, as much as the Rock God is just chomping at the bit to get in the ring, he's going to be launching himself into the ring, potentially with Papo Esco. It's going to be like running into a wall.
Desperation here. Boy, look at that. He peeled his own partner to the corner so he could make the tag. Have you ever seen that, guys?
Great timing there. And just again, the ability to adapt by the Rock God, and now he is on fire, taking it to Danny Limelight. Cover, could be new champs.
Looking to make history.
Rock God's doing well, but how long can he keep this up against both members of Bodega?
Well, Eddie Pearl kept it up for quite a while. Eddie Pearl, I'm amazed he's even back to his feet, although he's just strung over that rope. Might not be on his feet for long after eating that shot. But again, I don't think you're going to see much of the signature double teaming. Uh-oh, the referee's back is turned, low bridge. And boy, you are deep in the wrong part of town. And a big clothesline by Slice. He slices, he dices, and he causes damage.
Now all the momentum that the Rock God was trying to build up to turn the tide in this matchup swings just right back to the Bodega. Cover could be all here.
Man, that was close. I'll tell you guys, I hate to say it, but the Bodega defeated SoCal Distancing to win the titles, but they're employing some of the same strategies when it comes to the numbers game now that they have Slice in tow.
Well, they've tasted success. They were starving for it, and now they want to keep feeding. Oh, what is Slice Boogie doing? He's got those championships. What is he doing?
Well, the 4 minutes of heat. 4 minutes of heat had him in the launch position for the power ballad, and now Gibson's gonna be singing the high notes.
Right in the Cobra Kai's. Oh my God! What a shot from that title belt. He's got to be out. Ref didn't see any of it.
Papo taking care of Eddie Pearl. Here's the cover, and that is gonna do it. Man, oh man.
Here are your winners, and still United World Tag Team Champions, the Bodega.
There were a lot of moving parts in this one, guys. Let's take a look back. Brought to you by Primetime Live each and every week, live on pay-per-view. And Blake talked about 4 minutes of heat doing something a little different. I think here we see that the Bodega did something a little different. The shot down low, the shot with the United World Tag Team title, and then get the 1, 2, 3.
This really shows what type of wild card Slice Boogie is now coming out and accompanying the Bodega.
I think it just shows how hungry they are to stay at the top. They've got there. They know that there's a target from everyone in this tag team division, and they look confident that they're gonna be staying there.
United, they're stronger than ever. And I'll tell you what, anybody that faces these guys, you're going to be paying that street tax, and you're going to pay a hefty, hefty toll. What a year it was for Danny Limelight Rivera, and what a 2021 it seems to be for the Bodega guys.
Yeah, you want to take those tag team championships, you're going to have to go to the bad part of town and deal with 3 of the baddest dudes in the United Wrestling Network.
The celebration is on. They're snacking on the competition from the Bodega, and we'll see you for more action next time on Championship Wrestling.
And still, the Bodega are victorious and still your United World Tag Team Champions.
Big win, but not to bury the lead.
Yeah.
Heavy words from Jordan Clearwater before that. The story between Jordan Clearwater and Jack Banning, it's only the beginning.
I want to talk about it, but we're all out of time, fans. Be sure to join us on Monday for the Championship Wrestling Podcast. We just celebrated 1 full year on the pod.
And we're only about a month away from our 100th episode on this program.
Yes, exciting times. Join us again next week right here on CW30 Memphis and YouTube premiere for the fastest hour in pro wrestling. And until then,
I'm Maria, he's Dustin. So long, everybody.
Memphis Wrestling is back, featuring Alan Steele, Derek King, The Posse, Superstar Bill Dundee, King Cobra, and more. Championship Wrestling from Memphis.